All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is a game we haven't talked about since the entire drama popped off, obviously, with Tifa and the censorship. While Square Enix apparently is not really wanting PC gamers to have at it with this game, which we all know is going to happen regardless, because again, you can ask people not to do something and it's just going to make them more likely to do it. But you got an article here from Phantom Pulse with a headline that reads, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director asks modding community not to create or install anything offensive or inappropriate, because we all know that's going to go over really well.
Come on, spiky head! Get your ass down here! I said, get your ass down
Fine.
here!
Not looking good.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, the one thing that the PC community does not like is when you tell them not to do something. The PC community, the moment they hear don't do this, they're going to do that plus 10 times worse just because you ask them not to do it. The PC community has a more freedom-oriented kind of mindset than any other community in gaming. This is because they have unlimited access to pretty much anything when it comes to mods especially. And now that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out on PC, apparently the director, who probably doesn't understand the PC culture, is trying to ask people not to install or create anything offensive or inappropriate for the game, which we already know is going to happen. So let's get into this article, guys, from Phantom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. And I'm sure that GOONERGate is going to love what this guy is saying. Naoki Hamaguchi, the director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, has asked the PC gaming modding community not to create and install anything offensive or inappropriate ahead of the game's release to PC. Now, I want to keep something very clear. The PC community is not going to give a crap, right? Like, we know that. Everybody watching this video knows that. If you are part of the PC community, we don't give a crap about what any director or person says. The moment we buy the game, that's it. Like, it's game on at that point. And you know what? It's very worrisome, because I understand that what he's trying to say is coming from an innocent place, right? I don't think it's coming from a censorious place necessarily, kind of like Western developers that would be probably saying that because they want to censor what they know is inevitably going to be coming, right? All the sexy outfits, all the nude mods, all the fucking degenerate shit. Like, people know that that's coming. But I don't think it's coming from a censorious nature. I just think it's coming from a place of genuine, like, you know, he's Japanese. I don't believe it's coming from the same place. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it. I just don't think it's coming from the same place. However, that doesn't mean that what he's saying needs to be abided by, right? Nobody, like, you bought the game. If you buy the game on PC, you have every right to play around with it as much as you want. And somebody, like a company like Nexus Mods, would love what this guy is saying, right? Because Nexus Mods is going to be banning everything that's offensive, right? They're going to be banning any, like, if you have a character that you take, let's say you make Barrett white or whatever, I'm sure Nexus Mods will ban something like that because they will consider it offensive. So, you know, I'm just very worried about this kind of mindset, even though it might be coming from a semi-innocent place from Hamaguchi. I just know it's going to be taken from other non-innocent places, and they're going to run with it. But anyway, following the announcement, Hamaguchi spoke with Epic Games Store and revealed Square Enix has no plans for official in-game mod support. He added, "We respect the creativity of the modding community and welcome their creations, though we ask modders not to create or install anything offensive or inappropriate. It's a respectable request, but will likely be ignored by a number of modders who immediately create pornographic, LGBTQ, and other degenerate mods." Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to be very clear, man. When it comes to PC gaming, you are freer to do anything you want to do more than anyone else in the console community. And if that is something that offends you, if that is something that scares you, if that level of creative freedom is something that worries you, then perhaps PC gaming is not for you, because PC gaming has been this way for the longest time. There's been all kinds of mods, and it's not just sexual mods. It's not just LGBTQ mods. It's not just degenerate mods. There's actual mods out there that truly enhance a lot of games in a multitude of different ways. And without those mods, sometimes the games just become very boring. So it is good to have modders, you know, out there doing what the developers can or cannot do. There is a ton of negative effects that come with viewing pornography, according to John Ep Trent, which, again, I'm gonna let him cook. You can read his article if you want to let him cook regarding this whole nonsense. But at the end of the day, I want to make something very clear. This is not going to be anything that's going to like PC gaming is never going to change. You could talk about religion, you could talk about porn and how it affects your brain and blah, blah, blah. But PC gaming as a whole is never going to change. And like I said, I fully understand where he's coming from, Hamaguchi, fully understand. We actually have an interview here from Epic Game Store where he talks directly with them, and that is actually one of his requests. And can you imagine if like you have a mod where it makes the entire game like pixelated Final Fantasy VII? How insane would that be? I remember this segment in Final Fantasy Rebirth, and I thought it was pretty awesome. Can you imagine the rest of the game looking like that? It would just be so funny. You know, anything is possible with the modding community. And once you start censoring certain aspects of it, you're really going to go down a slippery slope of censorious nature that I don't think a lot of these people who are against this kind of stuff realize, right? A slippery slope is there for a reason. It's the same reason why we have the LGBTQ nonsense where it's at right now, because everybody tried to be understanding, everybody tried to be loving or whatever in the beginning, and that what ended up happening was, you know, people started co-opting it, and they started making ridiculous demands, and now we are here after this long slippery slope where you have people making shit up just for the fun of it, where now LGB has now become LG whatever the fuck at this point. That's really what it is. So at the end of the day, I'm actually pretty interested to see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PC. I'm not going to buy it personally because, number one, I've already bought it. It's not a game that I feel like I should buy twice. And number two, playing it on PS5, I'm already pissed what they did with the story, so I'm not going to go out and support it any further. But I can understand people who are maybe waiting for a PC release, who decided that they want to pick it up on Steam now or Epic Games or whatever the case may be. I can understand that, all right? I totally get that, but it's just not one of those games for me to want to buy twice. So I'm excited to see what mods they come out with. We already know. We already know Aerith and Tifa, they're going to get some interesting mods, right? We already know that. And for all the gay people, I'm sure they're going to make plenty of Barrett mods because, you know, a big hulking black guy, yeah, that's most of their fantasies. So let's be honest here. That sailor outfit's probably going to be coming off real quick from Barrett for a lot of these people. But I can't wait to see the mods because it's going to be hilarious. And I already know that a lot of the mods are going to make people melt down on both sides, right? The religious, like the super religious people, are going to melt down hardcore when they see all the titties and ass. And then all the gay people, or all the like progressive people, are going to melt down when they see the removal of all the gay shit, right? You already know there's going to be a mod that's going to come out that's going to change the entire oyster bar scene. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to completely make that gay scene into a heterosexual scene, and it's going to make these losers melt down on both ends. So I cannot wait to see what happens with this game, but ultimately, Square Enix, for me, has royally fucked up Final Fantasy VII. I am not a fan of what they are doing, and I got to be honest with you, I am not looking forward to the last iteration, the third and final part, because considering where they went with the story in Rebirth, yeah, anybody who watched me play that game live knows exactly where I stand with this. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate if I get to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.